This video is going to be all about what I'm up to post-World Championships, and I'm going to take you on the journey from start to finish. And I think it's going to be important for you guys because it's kind of going to be an insight into 50 days of Ironman training and whether or not I can turn myself from a 70.3 athlete into an Ironman athlete in that period of time. So the idea is that I'm going to try and take you through almost day by day. It's going to be a countdown, obviously 50 days, and I'm going to give you an insight into the sessions, how I'm feeling, and also just kind of the progress that I'm making and what I'm changing in my current situation to kind of shift myself into that Ironman sort of fitness. If that does sound up your street, do hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon, because then you'll be notified of my future video uploads. And hopefully I'll be able to give you, that inspiration, insight into that progress, and hopefully inspire you to do it yourself. And lastly, if you do want to do it yourself, check out our website, entirepc.com, because I actually do some coaching alongside Yes and Harriet and a few others. So if you do want some coaching for next season, or even the back end of this season, do get in touch. So after Worlds, I took a bit of downtime to kind of absorb the experience, make sure that I was actually appreciating what I had done, but also just to recover, because I knew that I would now have a decent block of training before my next race. So I was really able to relax, kind of take it all in, recover, and get inspired, motivated to do the next block, because I think if I just rolled on through, it would have been a little bit kind of over the top. I probably would have got a bit tired. Maybe the motivation would have started lacking a little bit. But all in all, I'm feeling pretty motivated for this because I'm a bit scared. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have enough time to actually convert myself from this 70.3 athlete into a full distance Ironman athlete. It's a whole different kettle of fish, and I have no idea how my body's going to respond to it. To get a bit of an insight into that, I went down to Tenby the other weekend with Em and a few others, and we just watched, and we were spectators for the race. We didn't have any athletes competing there, but it was amazing to see the athletes that were doing it and completing it and having a great time at the same time. So yeah, that kind of gave me a little bit of more appreciation for what these people go through, and again inspired me to keep on training for it.
It's not bad.
Tenby, by the way, is stunning. I will definitely be looking into doing that next year, and as one of my full distance Ironmans, which I'm sort of gonna hopefully transfer into a little bit more next year as well, which is part of the reason why I want to do one this year.
My son.
That's because we look shit right here.
I know the reflection looks good.
Can't get Lockie in it. Go to your right, Lockie.
Oh, that's actually good.
Well, I thought I'd do like 50 days of Ironman training.
Is that what it is too?
Pretty much identical to that, yeah. So I thought I'd give people a countdown of 50 days to Ironman Cash Guys, but we'll see.
What, every day? A vlog every single day? Fuck that.
No, not every day, but just in general, starting with 50.
My Morton parcel's arriving. What the?
You're a lucky man. So anyway, after a week off, I got back into training on Monday, and the swim was fine. A little bit sluggish because after a bit of a week off, I tend to feel a little bit out of sorts because I'm so used to training under a little bit of fatigue. So my arms and legs were a little bit all over the place, but in general, absolutely fine. And then straight after the swim, as per usual, did my standard run off 10 kilometers or so 6k swim, 10k run, and with some of the boys. So yeah, that was great to catch up with them again. And then yeah, that day was my first bike session, like hard bike session of the block. Not your usual Ironman training, I imagine, but I went down to Maindy with the guys and we did like a thresholdy session around Maindy. A little bit spiky, a little bit kind of boisterous, but it was great. Like, really good fun. I love going down to Mandy, especially this early in the block. I probably wouldn't do it closer to the actual race because it's not actually benefiting me that much. But it's a lot of fun, and I probably needed it rather than just putting out loads and loads of power, because you don't tend to put out as much power around Mandy. You do a little bit of technical stuff, so not quite the same.
Just go when I say your name, yeah? Reese, Morgan, Danny, Ollie, Dom, Baz, Geta, Ollie, Ross. No, Baz.
No.
Rocky, wait.
Been a bit of a haphazard first week. Tuesday I actually ran first thing rather than swim first thing, which is not normal for me whatsoever, but I'd planned to go and meet Aaron in the afternoon. So in order to do that, I needed to get my run out of the way, otherwise it probably would have ran too late in the day because we were down the lake swimming, which takes forever to get to. So I ended up running first thing pretty early in the morning, actually quite nice and chilled, but in general, yeah, quite early, I got a bit tired, but it was great. Right in the afternoon was really nice to meet up with Aaron and have a bit of a chinwag and whatnot, but yeah, no, a bit all over the place, but again, not too worried about that this early in the block. Wednesday's main thing is a long aerobic bike ride. Do that with the guys. Quite a few of the guys are racing this weekend, so there wasn't actually that many of us out on the road, probably just me, Yeston, Hugo and Lockie, so it wasn't like rammed or anything, but it was a lovely day out, absolutely scorching. We had to stop at the cafe or shop for a couple of drinks and then to top up because I drank mine so quickly. but not as quickly as I drank them on the Thursday bike session. So this is my first Ironman bike session of the block, which was 3 by 30 minutes tempo, around 310 watts. So I think that's about 80% of FTP in and around there, and tried to do as much of it as I could in the time trial bars. So that was my first, we're going to call it Ironman session, and it was a rude awakening. It's not too dissimilar to what I was doing for 70.3. It's basically 3 times 30 minutes, around 310 watts. And I mean, this doesn't help, I'm absolutely dripping.
Look at this puddle.
Yeah, my poor bike. But I think if it's not as hot as this, I've hydrated really well, to be fair. I think that I could have really messed it up, but I think fueled and hydrated really well. It was a small version of the sessions to come, but hopefully I won't be as hot on the other sessions, so it won't be as tough. But yeah, all the numbers looked good apart from my heart rate, so we'll see. Just don't want to drip as much as this. I need to keep on top of it, especially in this heat.
What's the temperature?
It's about 30 degrees, but it's probably about 40 degrees in here. No, I don't know. It's about, yeah, it's probably 30 at least in here, probably a bit higher. But that's what it's going to be in the race. I didn't intend for this to be the case, but yeah.
You won't have a fan on you in the race, actually.
No, I won't, did you say?
Yeah.
No, I won't have a fan, but I will have the wind, hopefully. But we'll see. It was hot and I didn't cope very well, and to try and do that for 3 hours or 4 hours is going to be a hard ask, but I'll let you know how I get on as we kind of progress into the block, and to see whether or not I actually think that's going to be feasible, because that'll probably be roughly my target power. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so rounding up from this week, I've been getting on fine. Like, it was a bit of a sluggish start to the week, but later in the week I've actually been responding far better. The heat is a little bit of an issue for me, as per usual. I'm gonna have to do some heat training coming into my Ironman race, which is going to be Portugal Cascais full distance Ironman. So that is going to be my target event. Whether or not it's a good idea or a bad idea, I've gone for it because I did the 70.3 last year, so I know the course. It's just twice around it. Whether it's a bad idea because of the heat is yet to be seen, but I'm going to prepare as best as possible for that. In terms of general fitness body check, I haven't lost any fitness, I don't think, from Lati, but at the same time, it's very hot. I'm suffering a little bit with that, and also my Achilles are a little bit stiff, so I'm going to start seeing a physio or get a massage at least once every other week, just to try and keep on top of that, because I think it's going to be important with the increase in volume. So I will be increasing in volume. Like, this week's going to be about 28 hours, but I'm probably be going up to 30 to 31 hours, with the primary increases being in cycling and running. Like, the swimming should stay roughly the same. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an insight into this first week of training. If you did find that interesting or get an insight or a bit of motivation, do hit that subscribe button, hit that like button below. And yeah, just check out the links in the description below as well, because there's a few more bits and pieces of information which might be of interest. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.